Hey, yo, what is going on? What is really going on? What's on the camera? There we go. The camera tried to play your boy already. Here we go. Either way, man, what is going on? It's your boy Joe Cashflow, and you already know, man, we are live in this bad boy. Man, I have missed y'all. Man, my homie Rion already on here talking about some, man, let's get it at. Absolutely, man, with the fire emojis. Man, we are ready. We are 100% ready. Look, I'm telling you right now, I miss being on live. I don't know what's been going on with my schedule. Ever since I wanted to start doing the Joe Cashflow show live, guess what's been happening? Guess what's been happening? Every other week, like clockwork, something happens. It's one week I gotta be here. The next week I gotta go to see my niece off. The next week I got closeout. If you don't know what closeout is in my business, we got this whole thing where once a month we have to go out there. I mean, not once a month, twice a month, where we go out there and we close out business to prepare for either the second half of the month or to close out a great month. And so we've had that going on. We've had all kind of things go on, guys. And at the end of the day, your boy Joe Cashflow, at the end of the day, still said, I've got to keep persevering and getting through because I actually really enjoy doing these lives. I love it. And I am dedicated to doing the show. I'm just pulling up some things, but I'm dedicated to doing the show every single week at 10 p.m., even though it's 10-ish. I say this a lot, 10-ish, but it's episode 8. And we've got a fun doozy of an episode that we're going to go through today because you know what? A lot of people want to know how to get rich. A lot of people want to know how to get rich. And this is the Joe Cashflow Show. You know what we always talk about? We talk about cash flow. We talk about money, moolah, dinero, what is it, la feria, whatever it's called. We talk about money. And one thing when we talk about money, it always comes down to, is the cash flowings everywhere and anywhere, and how do we get there? So we've talked about a lot of different things on this show. We do reactions, we watch videos, we react to them, we do exposés, we do all kind of stuff. But this is a new video that we're going to react to that we have not done before. This is a little bit of a new thing because as we keep building and building upon our episodes and we go along and I help you make money and I know you're entertained because it's Friday night, you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, you're a business person, I'm a business person. Maybe you're not even an entrepreneur or business person, but you just love to talk about money and you want to talk about money as much as you possibly can because you're just in love with that cocoa, actually that money. Here's the thing. I'm here with you because I love to talk about it. So, but everybody wants to know how to get rich. That's the key. Everyone wants to know how to get rich. And for me, I said, you know what? I may want to know how to get rich. I think I do okay, but I want to know how to get rich. But then there's the aspect of there's people that's already much richer than you. And we kind of want to ask them, how did they do it? Like, that's my thing. I remember getting into business and I failed in business a couple of times. I've had some wins. I've had some losses. I'm on the winning side as of right now. And I plan on being on the winning side for a very, very long time, essentially till I die. And I set my family up to be on the winning side and all these good things. And but getting on the winning side is not easy. And there's not a lot of people who have access to people to tell them how they did it. And that's one of the hardest things about entrepreneurship, especially depends on which route you go through. So for me, my first business, it did fail horribly. I lost over 6 figures in my 20s. A lot of money for me at that point in time. Honestly, it's a lot of money at any time. I don't care. You lose 100,000 plus in anything in a matter of a couple of months. It's a lot of money. In this particular case, I lost money in my car dealership because I didn't know much about the car business world. And I wish if somebody would have told me how it worked, maybe I would have done it. Maybe I wouldn't have done it. At the end of the day, I learned by experience. But as I got older, I started running into different people and they had certain lifestyles and they had certain things in their life. And I would be curious and I say, well, shoot, how did you get rich? I want to know how you got rich. How did you make your money? And there's all these different industries that people talk about how they make their money. And I figured, you know what? Maybe we should talk about the industries that get rich instead of me just bringing up some things. Why don't we just talk to people who own supercars and let's ask them how they got rich, because that is simple. Let's just talk to supercar owners and see, how did you get rich? Because you're richer than I am, so you must have done something right or wrong. So let's just talk to them. And so today's episode is going to be a very simple episode, and we're going to talk to supercar owners. Well, okay, we're going to react to supercar owners. But we're going to talk to them and we're going to react and we're going to hear about how they got rich. Now, as we go through this, I'm going to even take some notes, and I'm going to take some notes because I want to see how many categories are in certain industries that is indicative of knowing about getting rich. Pretty much, if I want to drive a Lambo, Ferrari, Bugatti, and all these other things, well, if these people are already driving them and I keep seeing this, correlation between different industries of how to get rich, maybe if I want to get rich, I should look at what they're doing. I don't know, maybe. So with that being said, we're going to talk about how to get rich. Now, you guys know I am in the industry and I have done some research. So before we actually look at the video we're going to look at, we're going to look into, and I'm sorry, I'm typing up here. We're going to go ahead and just say industry. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me actually share my screen to show you guys. Because before we go and ask supercar owners, let's just do a quick research and look at what industry based on the internet is saying you're more likely to get rich in. Now, as we look at this, wonderful little industry, our question is going to come down to a few things. One, if this is true based on real world application, because we're going to look at a channel that talks about people getting rich. So we're going to look at a channel that talks about people getting rich, and they actually ask real creators about how they got rich. And then we're going to go and we're going to go from there. And then we're going to kind of double back and see, like, okay, is this true? Like, do we see it in our categories here? So let's go ahead and start with this. It says AI overview. That is hilarious. According to a 2016 World Wealth Report, this is a quick Google search. You guys see me search for it. It says that financial services, 35% of respondents said this was one of the top 3 sectors: manufacturing, healthcare, tech. Okay. After school, Africa gives us financial services, technology, real estate, food and beverage, health, media, entertainment, renewable energy. Okay. So, and then art, life, insurance agents. Of course, they're going to say that. Business Insider, India. India is a pretty big place, so I guess we'll look at India and see what they say. Food and services, utilities, natural resources, transportation, retail, wholesale, an ad. This is how you get rich. Advertise while somebody's on YouTube. There you go. Retail, wholesale. Let's keep going. Why am I? Entertainment industry, entertainment, recreation, renewable industry, aerospace, agriculture, education, communication, real estate, manufacturing, healthcare, tech, and number 1 being financial services. Who run the world? Financial services. Okay, so we've seen numerous things say financial services. Now, this does not mean that this is going to be indicative of when we watch and react to these videos of people with driving supercars saying this is how they got rich. This is just basically us looking this up really quickly and seeing the industries, but we keep seeing a few of the top industries. So with that being said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to click on a video we're going to watch this video that is by a person who I actually watch a lot of content on my other channel because he asks people. A lot of people watch his stuff. By the way, I will tell you, School of Hard Knocks, on their channel, some of the stuff that some of the people they talk to, they do kind of set it up. I'll be honest with you. I've seen that, people pay him to interview him and all that good stuff like that. So we're going to react to that part.
Excuse me, man.
But at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to just get some data of some of these industries that he's asking them, like, hey, how did you get rich? And he's getting some good data. And, his YouTube channel is famous for that. He's gotten pretty famous for that. I want to say he's got how many subscribers? Yeah, he's got 319,000 subscribers. I know he's big on TikTok as well. And, he asks a lot of good questions and people are very open to talk to him. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with episode 8. By the way, if you're watching it right now live or after the fact, hit your boy with the sub. I'm always dropping crazy good business money content on my channel, whether it's shorts, lives. Go back and watch the first 7 episodes. I'm telling you, all of them is hot. And they just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter because I'm the fireman. Fire, man. Either way, let's keep it going. Let's go.
Question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out in Las Vegas to be able to afford a Lamborghini?
I have an Airbnb business.
How long have you been a business owner for?
About 3 years.
Over these last 3 years, what's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Tens of millions of dollars.
$7 million.
5.4 million.
Are you a buyer or a seller?
I'm a seller.
Yeah.
I'm a seller. It's just in my nature. That's why I became an entrepreneur.
Hey, these boys out here, what are these boys out here talking about already? Obviously, there was a lady. They already talking about 5 mil, 7 mil. You know what I mean? They tens of mil. So they talking big numbers. I don't know about you, but in most areas in the United States, matter of fact, 99.9% of counties in the United States, you will be considered rich if you are at least making $250,000. That's not a lot of money. $250K will make you rich in 99.9% of counties. Obviously, there's a few counties that we already know with some of the major cities where 250 ain't nothing. Like, I'm near Austin, and trust me, I don't stay in Austin, but I'm near Austin, and Austin is one of those places where you're going to have a lot more than 250 to be rich. But where I stay at, making a couple $100,000, you're freaking rich. So either way, they throwing out some big numbers already. So I'm very curious. We've already heard real estate, by the way, because Airbnb is in the real estate space. And he's already asking this guy, and we're just getting started.
Entrepreneur.
How old are you now?
39.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
Man, I made my first million when I was 21.
20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
You became a millionaire at 20.
Yeah.
29.
Do you come from money?
No. My dad left my sister and I with my mom when I was 1 and she was 3 years old. I'm a high school dropout and I didn't go to college.
By the way, a lot of these people are already talking about they're young, and I got to give a shout out to, of course, man, if it's past your bedtime, but you still rocking with Joe Cashflow, whether right now or after the fact, man, cheers to you. I forgot to go ahead and give you that salute. Wonderful nightcap. But these people are young. Making your first million at 20 is insane. Yeah, bro, I heard that as well. I've got to actually, I can't wait to get to that person. Because some people, when they say they make the first million, I'm thinking, is it cash flow, or is it like, I'm worth $1 million, or I've done $1 million in sales or $1 million in business? What does this mean? We're going to get to that because there's a difference. There's a difference between like, oh, if I could be worth $1 million, I've done $1 million in business. And then there's a big difference in, I've made $1 million cash freaking money. So yeah. At 20 is wild.
But what I always say,
The world becomes a better place when a man plants seeds for the future generations for shade that he will never enjoy.
You made your first $1 million at 21. How can somebody own a Lamborghini in today's world? $45 billion. That's the amount of money that was spent in Las Vegas this past year. And since we're in the city full of money, I'm going to be going all over to find multimillionaires to ask them how they became wealthy and how you can start your path to becoming financially free in 2024. So with that being said, let's get this video on the way.
Oh, man, I ain't trying to get hit with the copyright. That boy about to hit me with the No, we don't want that. We got to skip that a little bit. Here we go. All right.
We're at one of the most expensive hotels in all of Las Vegas. This is the Fontainebleau. My guy just pulled up to the valet in a Lamborghini Urus. I'm going to go up and see what he was able to do to be able to afford this car out in Las Vegas. Let's go see what he has to say. Excuse me, man. Quick question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out in Las Vegas to be able to afford a Lamborghini?
I trade full time.
Hey, real quick. Before we get right into what he's about to say, because I feel like he's going to say some good stuff. Lamborghini Urus is a nice car. But can we at least mention this? Do we really truly believe that he just randomly walked up to him without even for 1 second saying, hey, can I record you and ask you about, how you made all this money? Do we really believe that this was so random? I just love how this is what they do in the cars. I love it. They sit here in the cars, right? And they're just like, chilling. And they're like, hey, man, how did you afford a Lamborghini? Oh, you shocked me. You shocked me. This is how I afford a Lamborghini. Come on, man. I love it, though. I get it. It's entertainment. But I think it's funny. Okay, it's me. I think it's funny. Hopefully, if you think it's funny, man, let me know. But I think it's funny that they acted. Yeah, no way this is exactly. Yeah, no way. No freaking way. He is doing this randomly. Of course, it's impossible. I'm in a Lamborghini Urus and you walk up to me and you're like, hey, man, how'd you make your money? Bro, we're going to have an issue. I'm going to be like, creep, back off. What are we talking about? Who are you? Why you got a camera in my face? So either way, I love content. It's just funny, though. Either way, let me get back to it.
And I'm an entrepreneur.
How long have you been a business owner for?
For about 4 years now.
Over these 4 years, what's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
1.5 million.
1.5 million. Yeah. How old are you now?
24. I just turned 24 last month.
24.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you became a millionaire?
Man, I made my first million when I was 21.
How did that happen? How did you make your first million at 21 years old?
A lot of it came through trading. Now, I will say during that time in the market, it was really easy to make money. Yeah. The Fed's pumping the market, COVID, all that stuff. But I would say at the end of the day, I wasn't seven figures until I did delegate, right? You can't do it all yourself. It is literally impossible. I am not the best at everything my business.
So my man,
how old are you now?
Shoot, my bad. My man did just say, let's go back. I just want to make sure I'm hearing him.
Millionaire.
Man, I made my first million when I was 21.
How did that happen? How did you make your first million at 21 years old?
A lot of it came through trading. Now, I will say during that time in the market.
So he made his money through trading. He's made his first million through trading. Trading is a way that a lot of people make money. We're going to vet this, of course, and we'll kind of see. But a lot of people do make money through trading. Him doing it at 20 is kind of crazy. I'm curious of how much money he started off with, because I know some of the richest people in the world, Warren Buffett, is heavily against people trading, even though he doesn't know everything. Like, do you know this? Warren Buffett didn't believe Facebook was going to ever be a very, very profitable company. He didn't have no belief in social media, and obviously he clearly was wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and act like Warren Buffett is the end all be all. But I know a lot of people that's done trading. To him to make 1.5 million by 20, the first part I want to know is how much money did you start off with? Because you're not starting off with $1 and $2. And I get that, and I'm glad he's being upfront. Let's listen to what he's about to say. He's being upfront what he's about to say.
It was really easy to make money. Yeah. The Fed's pumping the market, COVID, all that stuff. But I would say at the end of the day, I wasn't seven figures until I did delegate, right? You can't do it all yourself.
Okay, so and he's taught, if he's 24 now, this was a couple months. He said he was 20 when he did it. 4 years ago, what happened 4 years ago? COVID, all that stuff. So I'm glad that he's at least being upfront. A lot of people aren't being honest, that some people just was in a good position to make a lot of money at the right time. And that's really what happened in 2020. You had a lot of people get easy money rich, but they don't know how they did it. I just got to know. I wonder if he's going to talk more about how he started, because how much money did you start with to get to 1.5? But either way, let's keep it going. And then he's talking about he delegated. I'm not I'm not an expert in this, but he's talking about he's dedicated. And my boy Rion said, man, facts. Yeah, we trying to figure out what's going on. What's the mystery? If you're doing it, I want to know, because I don't know about you, but I could use 1.5 million personally. You know what I mean? Like 1.5 don't sound that bad to me today at all.
It is literally impossible. I am not the best at everything my business requires. So you have to find pieces outside of the business, outside of yourself, that can help you do the things that you want to accomplish within the business. And that comes with building a good team. And in order to build a good team, you have to, number one, treat people very well, pay people very well. And you also have to have opportunities of growth within the company with the people that you are looking to have in your company and help you grow.
Now, you made your first $1 million at 21, but like at any point in time, have you ever been broke before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was raised by a single mother. Now she's very successful herself.
Okay, wait a minute. He's about to say something, but I got to stop really quickly. I have to stop really quickly. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I know enough to know this. If he's a great trader and he's done what he's done, the chances of him finding a team that's as good as him, I mean, you're talking about this is a point, this is a 0.1% skill. Like, this is not an easy skill to do. You have people that work in Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, who I'm telling you right now, they're not as good as this guy. And then he's talking about, I think I'm tripping. I'm not trying to, by the way, this is not like a hater type of episode. I promise you. I want to really know. This is not me being a hater, but he's saying he's trader, and then he talks about him being running a business. I'm a little confused on what he actually is doing. And now he's about to say he's broke, but his mom's very successful. This could explain a lot. But I don't know. I don't know too many people who are trading and he's that young to get started delegating to a business. I don't understand. You're the one with the skill set. There's a guy, Michael. If there's a movie called let me pull it up. I want to pull this up because I want to explain to you what I'm saying. So there's a guy called Michael Burry. The movie. So there's a movie called The Big Short. Michael Jesus Christ. Michael Burry is a guy who's a trader for years, and he runs a fund. He makes a lot of he runs a hedge fund. He makes a lot of crazy predictions. He's been right multiple times. He actually got a crazy one out now. What's his net worth? But I'm telling you why I'm bringing him up. What's his net worth? Let me show you something. Michael Burry's net worth is $300 million right now. The reason why I bring this up is because this man is he actively trades and he doesn't delegate that part. He's the end all be all when it comes down to decision making for his hedge fund. The reason why I'm bringing this up because I'm just a little bit confused on what my friend is talking about with his business. So I don't know if I'm understanding is he a trader or is he a business owner that owns some type of fund? I mean, what is it? But let's make sure we finish it and then we'll just kind of talk about that.
That can help you do the things that you want to accomplish within the business. And that comes with building a good team. And in order to build a good team, you have to, number one, treat people very well, pay people very well. And you also have to have opportunities of growth within the company with the people that you are looking to have in your company and help you grow.
Now, you made your first $1 million at 21, but like at any point in time, have you ever been broke before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was raised by a single mother. Now, she's very successful herself, but she never gave me anything. So everything I have is she made me earn it, which was number one, the hands down the reason I am the way I am today, because, you just got to figure it out. And for me, it was, I'm not asking my mom for any money. So I was doing Uber Eats and Instacart before all this. So yeah, I've been there before.
Among yourself and the most highly successful people that you study and know, what is that?
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Everybody who is under 30 years old, for the most part, is broke. So that question, he's like 24 years old. And he's like, hey, have you ever been broke? He's only been living on his own for 6 years. Bro, of course she was broke, but you was already rich by 21. So, like, have you really ever been broke? I'm not sure. Either way, let's keep it going.
One trait that they all have in common.
You know, this may be an uncommon one, but a lot of successful people that I see are married. I got married really young. I was 20 years old when I got married. When you're married and you're not focused.
This really is actually a really good point. I have to say, he's on to something. The only reason why I got married, hopefully my wife doesn't watch this, is because I understood I can double the brain power and lower our expenses all at the same time. So it just made sense to get married and grow a business together. 100% the only reason to get married. Love, as Tina said, what's love got to do with it? Who cares? I'm being very sarcastic, by the way. I really do love my wife 100%. And that was truly, I never, ever in my life thought I was getting married and going to do a business together with somebody. And I had good friends that I'm telling you right now who are married and do business together. And they never in their life thought that they would do business together and get married for that reason. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but it's wild that he brought that up as a point. But it's a good point. He is correct. A lot of people who are married and they do business together and they're aligned and they have the same goals, they do get rich much faster and easier. It is true.
On everything outside, you're so focused. So I always tell Shantae, that's my wife. I always told her, I said, you were a business decision. I loved you. Like, don't get me wrong, but you were business too. Cause like, I was like, yo, I know myself, but if I'm focused and I'm not worried about anything else, I'm good.
That's a banger, bro. I've never heard that before. What's been the best find?
Hey, my man said, I've never heard it before because this guy's 20 years old getting married, telling his wife, hey, I just want to let you know, sweetheart, you know I love you. Yeah, you know I love you. But you're a business decision as well. So, you know, we're gonna go over your earnings at the end of the year. We're gonna look at the liability that you are. We're gonna see if I've made a profit. Because, sweetheart, you are a business decision. At 20 years old, I want to meet his mom. Let's meet his mom. At 20 years old, I'm telling you right now, no way in the world I'm thinking about getting married. And it definitely wasn't a business decision. It wasn't a business decision. I'm like, but that's some cold. This is a cold brother.
Financial advice that you've received throughout your career?
I would say, number one, God has to be the foundation of everything, right? If you want to build something, you got to have God at the center of it. And number two is you can't be upset at the things that come with asking God for stuff. For me, you know, I asked God, hey, I want a 7-figure business. And he threw a bunch of lessons at me that I had to learn in order to get a 7-figure business versus it just falling into my lap. And that was something I had a conversation with a pastor, actually. He told me, say, hey, man, God has to be the center. And, you know, I felt at that certain time in my life, I was kind of veering away. And God always has a way of bringing you back, right? So my version of that was business started shaky, teams started kind of splitting up, things weren't in order. But then, you know, I opened the Bible, Ephesians 3:20, lean not on your own understanding. And then from there, man, I've been rock solid.
How can somebody get a Lamborghini in today's world?
The people.
Man, love his message. As they say, God's not going to give you anything you can't handle. But if you ask for it, some people be like, Lord, you know, give me blessings. And he's like, well, I gave you a business. It's like, Lord, please. He's like, dude, I've sent you everything you need. I've given you the tools. I want abundance. And then he gives you a farm to work. That's just kind of how it goes. I love his message. It was a good message for sure. Lean not to your own understanding. Absolutely.
People that I've noticed in my life growing up who always talked about what they were going to do were always the people that never got anything done. For me, I'm impulsive. Right? Impulsive activity can be a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. And I've been on both ends before, but I would say because I'm impulsive, I don't wait on anything. I say, hey, I have an idea. Let's execute. Let's figure it out on the way versus trying to have everything complete right now and then saying, then let's go. Right? I'm not going to spend 2 weeks on a logo. Like, no, here's the name. Here's the business. Let's go. We'll figure all that, you know, later. Yeah. You got to take action.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I love that answer. Because I'm impulsive. I mean, now that I'm, you know, married to kids, I've had to tone it down. That's how you lose $100,000 plus and countless amounts of debts and all kind of stuff in your 20s is when you're just an action taker. You're impulsive. You're like, who cares? Whatever. Get the freak out of my way. I got to get rolling today. So he is right. Action takers, not thinkers, not planners. Action takers have a heck of a chance to seriously push through super fast. He is 100% correct on there. Action taker. That's what I am. My good friend is an action taker. I mean, you just gotta go. Sometimes you just go. You build it on the way. So he's on point with that one.
Action. You don't take action, nothing gets done. And the sooner you take action, the sooner you'll figure out what needs to be fixed.
You got amazing advice, man. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, man. So we were at the Fountain Blue.
Okay, so either way, all right. Now let's quickly. I want to pull up something because we know we got a trader, and so let's just look really quick. You guys don't mind, right? You guys don't mind. Of course you don't mind. Let's just look. And I want to Google this with you so you can see this. Me and you can see this together. Let's Google this bad boy. And let's see how much. How much does the average trader make? Why not? Let's see. By the way, I'm loving that Google has this like crazy AI overview. It just makes it so simple for us. Let's see what AI says. Of course, we'll go to Indeed and maybe we'll go to a few other things, but really quickly, because I want to see the other people. So a day trader, AI saying, as of March 2024, ZipRecruiter annual salary for a day trader in the U.S. was $96,000 to $185,000, and Glassdoor reported an average salary $120 with a range of $184 to $343. However, Investopedia noted that a day trader's income can vary depending on their trading strategy, risk management, capital. Okay, that's a big thing. That's what I said, capital. My man came out with, making 1.5 in his 20s. How in the world did he even, bro, he had to have some money. Okay, so stock traders varies by state, Massachusetts. So I guess this is my question. Here's my question that I'm going to ask. I'm trying to remember how I should ask the question the right way. What I want to know is the do traders outperform the market? Because this is the question. How likely is it for a trader to outperform the market? So AI is going to give us some results. Then we're going to hit some others. So let's see what AI says. I like this little AI feature. AI is saying it's possible to beat the market for a short time, but it's difficult consistently to outperform it over a longer period. According to Trade Society, whatever, active traders underperform the market by 6.5% annually on average. That is nuts. That's a big freaking number. While individual investors underperform by 1.5%. Wow. Some say that even professional fund managers can't consistently beat the market over 10 to 15 years. So the market hustle, despite having access to sophisticated strategies and analysts, the vast majority of professional investors cannot manage to outperform the market index. The S&P 500 has provided an average return of 10.6% since 1957, if that's the case. And the active traders underperform the market by 6.5%, meaning that more than likely to become very rich by trading, you're going to underperform the market. You're going to average about 4%, which is not even beating the market, where you can just throw your money in an index or ETF and call it a day. I'm not saying that my man could not or cannot do it. He is a Anomaly. But yeah, what that means is very simple. Stock picking has a terrible track record and it's getting worse. Wow. Okay. So all this means is he's completely and utterly elite. I don't understand why in the world. It's just not my place. He's making money, but why in the world would he have other people and delegate that? I'm confused on there. But we're going to find out more. Maybe we'll be able to go back and look him up and see what he does. I'm sure he's had some type of course or something like that to look up. But hopefully you guys at least understood what I'm saying. We're looking at trying to get rich, and I like to get rich like the easiest way possible. He drove a Lamborghini Urus, by the way. Stock trader. Let's put the car down. Lambo Urus. And I don't know if that's the easiest way to get rich, but it was pretty good advice. Either way, let's go and keep going.
Vegas, and I pulled up to my guy in the Lamborghini Urus. It turns out that he became a millionaire in his early 20s. But what I noticed about him and the most successful people in the entire world is that they have a faith and belief of God bigger than anything else. They know that at the end of the day, without God, nothing is possible. And that's why he became so successful and a millionaire at such a young age. Great interview, man. Let's go get this next one. Question for you, man. Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely been broke.
All right, here we go again, guys. I love the theatrics, but here we go again. My man is just sitting here in front of, what is this? Looks like Bellagio. And he's just sitting in front of Bellagio. He walks up to this random black guy. Hey, man, I don't know you. You don't know me. Have you ever been broke before? Hey, you, have you ever been broke before? He's like, yeah, man, of course. I get it. I know it's entertainment. I just think it's funny. You know, am I allowed to laugh? Am I allowed to laugh? I think it's funny. Either way.
What do you do for a living?
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing.
Specializing in medical supplies and military grade paint. We're actually the largest minority supplier in Western New York.
How old are you now?
I'm 45.
And if you were to go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, and you were starting from zero, what's the best advice that you would give to your younger self?
The best advice I heard was the world becomes a better place when a man plants seeds for the future generations for shade that he will never enjoy.
Break that down.
It's not about you. You don't hustle for you. What's your name?
James.
James. What's your last name?
Dumoulin.
You don't hustle for James. You hustle for Dumoulin. You hustle for the name on the back of your jersey. You hustle for your family. So it may not just be something that you're going to benefit from. You may be paving the way for your kids, your grandkids, and that's okay. The game is the long game. So as long as you're putting your people in position to be successful, that's where you win right there.
Man, I like that type of advice, man. You're sowing seeds for things you might not even see. That might not even hit to much later down the road, and you're not even doing it for your first name. You're doing it for your last name. Hey, my brother, I'm going to hit you with the blah, blah, blah. James, that was really good. I like that. I mean, we want to know how you're making money. Manufacturing. By the way, when we looked at the list, industries most likely to make you a millionaire, manufacturing was definitely up there, and healthcare was up there. So my man was striking, boom, boom, two of them. He looked at the list first. He was like, before I learn how to get rich, I'm going to look up how to do this. So there we go. Let's keep it going.
What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
$5.4 million.
$5.4 million. Are you a buyer or a seller?
I'm a seller.
Woo. 5.4 mil. Man, oh man. In a year. I'll tell you right now. That's a lot of money. He said he's 45, by the way. That's a lot of money. 5.4 mil manufacturing. And my man said, hey man, are you a buyer or a seller? I don't like how he kind of asked that question though, because you know, this is one of those months where you can't ask certain questions. And it sounded very similar to pitcher and catcher. Either way, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
I'm a seller. That's just in my nature. That's why I became an entrepreneur.
What do you think is more important, mindset or skill set?
Mindset.
Why?
Because you can open up a mindset to a different skill set. Most people with skill sets, they're set in their ways. People with an open mindset, doesn't matter what arena you put them in. They want to excel. Doesn't matter where you put me in the mailroom. I guarantee you within a certain period of time, I won't stay here. That's the best mindset to have. It's just, you know that there's always more to do.
And
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, bro. I just didn't like how he delivered that. I'm just saying I didn't like how he delivered what he said. That's That's all I'm trying to say, man. I didn't like how he delivered it. And this is not the month to just say what you want to say in that way. I'm just saying, bro. By the way, I do agree with this guy. Mindset over skill set 100% of the time, because if you got the right mindset, it's going to bring the right skill set. But, man, let's keep talking about business, though. Man, I love – there's a lot of motivation here. But let's talk about the money.
See the cross sign. How important has faith been for you throughout your life?
That allows me to sleep at night. It provides my moral compass. Knowing that there's something bigger than you, that's the ego killer. It's bigger than you. There's something out here bigger than you.
You got amazing advice, sir.
I appreciate you, man. James?
What's your
My
name?
name is James, too.
James
James Johnson.
Name of Kings.
That's
Name of
right,
Kings.
man.
So we were on the way to our next resort.
What the – that was the – come on, man. That's all we got out of James. He left us with some, good knowledge on sowing seeds and doing it for your last name. He's in manufacturing and made 5.4 mil, 45 years old. That's it. James didn't want to talk too much. He was like, bro, if I tell you too much about my business, man, y'all might end up coming to take it. All right, let's keep it going there.
And I caught my guy sitting out on the Vegas Strip. I had to go and ask him for some game. His business did $5 million this last year. But I love the advice that he gave on legacy. You cannot be in this for you, but rather the name on your back, because that is here for generations and generations to come. Great interview, man. Let's go get this next one. Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Why do you ask?
I go all over the country just asking people some questions.
Okay, you know what? This one actually seems more real than anything. If they're actually acting, I got to say this. If they're actually acting on this one, this was amazing accent, because he said exactly what I would say. Why are you asking me? Well, you're walking up to me with a camera. What are you asking me this for? So this one might actually be real. And then he's telling him, hey, I make freaking videos, bro. This is what I do. I make videos. So this might actually be a real reaction. We'll see.
Questions on advice to the younger generation of kids coming out of school. Now you had a beautiful car. I want to know if we could ask you a few questions for the channel.
Hit me. What do you got?
What do you do for a living to be?
Yeah. This might actually be real. I like this one. This might be real, because the guy's all right. What do you got? What can we do? He's gonna try to plug his business. Watch.
Able to put a Lamborghini out here in Las Vegas.
I do real estate out here in Las Vegas.
How long have you been in real estate for?
I've been in real estate for almost 20 years now.
Boom. Real estate is on the list. We do know that is on the list. So we got real estate. My man said he's been doing it for 20 years. And he's got a Lambo. I just realized the other guy wasn't driving the car. But my man's got a Lambo. And he's got a Huracan drop. This is good data, actually.
What's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Tens of millions of dollars in revenue, and net profit, I'll keep that to myself.
Do you come from money?
No. My dad.
Hey, he said, look, I better keep that. Hey, my business, IRS. Uncle Sam, if you ever watch this video, my business did tens of millions in revenue, which I told you. I'm not lying. It did tens of millions of revenue. But net profit, I'm just keep that to myself. I like this guy. So, but we got to at least write this down. Now, we don't know exactly what type of real estate, because this could mean a couple of different things. But tens of millions plus that he's made in a year.
Left my sister and I with my mom when I was 1 and she was 3 years old. I'm a high school dropout and I didn't go to college. But what I always say, and I think it's important to say this because I think it's important for people to recognize it when it's within their reach. I didn't come from money, but I came from resources. But we all come from resources. It's just, are we conscious of them? So did I have somebody that I could go, hey, can you help me get better? And that person would respond and say yes. But it starts with the balls and the humility to look at that person and say, will you help me? That's what it starts with. So did I have a lack of resources where people were willing to help me? No. But do I give them all the credit? Fuck no. I get the credit because I had the balls to ask them.
We don't lack resources.
Hey, man, I'm going to keep it a buck. The man really did. He really kind of slid on this one, on the real. He's like, look, I didn't come from money, but I didn't lack resources. And you just got to have the cojones and humility. So you got to be prideful and aggressive enough to put yourself out there, but then also be humble enough to be able to take what comes with that. And he's like, but do they get the credit? No, because I still did it. I like what he's talking about. This is authentic, or he's an amazing actor.
Just like resourcefulness.
Yes, there you go.
I
That's
love
a
that.
beautiful saying.
Let me ask you this,
Yeah, and I don't even know if coming from money is of benefit. Those poor guys get stripped of the where people were willing to help me. No, but do I give them all the credit? Fuck no. I get the credit because I had the balls to ask them.
we don't lack resources, we just lack resourcefulness.
Yes, there you go.
I
That's
love
a
it.
beautiful saying.
Let me ask you this,
Yeah, and I don't even know if coming from money is of benefit. Those poor guys get stripped of the beautiful experience of generating money. Think how sad that is. Think if you woke up. Andrew Tate said this one time. He really articulated it right. I understood the mindset, but he articulated it correctly. Could you imagine being a sheik where money is irrelevant? You could have anything on the planet. You could buy any of these hotels. Like, what a horrible feeling that you don't get that amazing dopamine rush of working hard for something, seeing the results, and then being able to go out and spoil yourself. Those guys got stripped of that on the day they were born. There's value in not coming from money.
as a multiple 8-figure
Man, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we're not talking about business. We're talking about motivation. I mean, I thought we was going to be talking to supercar owners about business. Clearly, this is a blind reaction, by the way. I did not preview this video. So this is clearly a blind reaction. So I thought we were going to be talking more about business. We're talking about practice? We're talking about practice? I thought we were going to be talking about more business, but we're not talking about business. We're just motivating. And that, by the way, I love it. I love it. I'm enjoying it. But I want to talk more about this money.
entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've received throughout your career?
You can't save your way to being rich. You can't save.
Boy, hey, drink to that one. Man, in my business, I talk to people about money, and I'm telling you right now, even though I help people save money and make money and protect their money, even though I do these things, man, look, you cannot, I'm telling you, you can't save your way to being rich. It's very, very, very difficult. You got to make a lot of money, and then you got to invest it, and you got to keep making money, and you got to keep generating income, and then you become rich, and then you can invest your money to stay rich. Either way.
Your way to being rich. A lot of people will say to themselves, how can I afford that thing? And they bust out all their bills and they go mortgage, car payment, cell phone bill, entertainment for food, gas, bullshit. And they see if they can afford it. That's not your problem. You need to make more money.
I love that. And how can someone make their money work for them in today's world?
I'm a big believer in buying cash flowing assets. I have been able to live a really abundant life with dumb shit and toys like this by buying assets that produce cash flow. And the asset that I like to buy.
Wait a minute. What did he just say? Plug your boy. With that being said, let's go ahead and make sure we hit the like button, because this is Joe Cashflow, for crying out loud. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, throw your boy a freaking notification, hit the bell, do all the things that you need to do, because, man, he just said what we always like to talk about, man. We love to talk about cash flow, invest in something that's going to bring you cash flow, do something that's going to bring you cash freaking flow. And of course, he just laid it down, and he just threw me a shout out, man. I appreciate it, homie. Thank you for that shout out, Joe Cashflow. Of course, live right now. It is episode 8, but seriously, hit that like, subscribe button. Let's keep it going.
Is rental properties.
Majority of Americans are living pay.
By the way, I know he said rental properties. I completely agree with him, and I disagree with him. I like rental properties. I have rental properties. Rental properties do not make you a lot of money until you have a whole lot of properties, and you've done it for a whole long time. A lot of people will sell you the dream on that's how you get rich. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to get rich, you're not about to get rich doing rental properties unless you've got a very, very high income and you're doing like that Grant Cardone stuff, and you're buying, 400 units at a time. You're doing that, okay, cool. But I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Your single family, your duplex, your fourplex, you're not driving a Lamborghini on that money. I just gotta keep it a buck. By the way, he knows this as well. He's not able to give the whole context. That's what I'm here for. That's what Joe Cashflow is here for, to give you some context when you're watching content like this or you hear this, to understand that That's just how it goes. Either way.
Paycheck to paycheck. What keeps people broke in today's world?
Politics keeps people broke. Football keeps people broke. All the distraction keeps people broke. Alcohol keeps people broke. Think about that. Every Sunday, there's 75,000 fans times however many football games going on at a time. They love it. On Monday, they wake up, they could barely make it to work. Those people, all that ambition has been washed away because they've all boozed the day before. Why do you think football's on a Sunday? If they wanted America to go back to work with life and ambition and drive, they'd put football on Saturday because then they'd have Sunday to recover so they could go to work feeling great. So all that distraction, in my opinion, it's all designed to numb out society, numb out ambition, and just keep people being content waking up and going to work from 9 to 5. From 9 to 5. Think about this. When you put some guy in the wilderness with no distractions and no alcohol, no nonsense, and no resources, you come back 6 months later, the fucking guy's built a fort. He's got fucking games. He's got a way to fish. He's got a way to get clean water. That's the true, authentic being of a human. We are creators by default, but with no distraction.
What did you have to sacrifice?
Hey, man. Hey, this guy's kind of dropping bombs. I'm not going to lie. He's dropping some freaking bombs. I mean, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I gotta say, every time I make a big play to make more money, I cut down distractions. I get focused on work. Matter of fact, I add me more work, more businesses. Like, honestly, I'm like, you know what? I got to make another play. It's weird when I get focused on something and I kind of expand my ability to work harder by adding more things to limit my time, my free time, I get way better. So like me doing YouTube, starting YouTube is a way to actually keep me grounded, to keep me better, because it takes up time where I can't get distracted. I have another thing that I'm starting in my business world, in my business ventures. I'll share it maybe on one of the lives, especially after I get successful in different things. But I'm doing something else right now, and I've been building on it. And it's been keeping me positively distracted while I'm building this other company along that's technically adjacent to my already, successful company now. So I'm setting up to say is when you're in the hunt, when you're in the game, you really don't have time to be distracted. Like, you don't have time to get, effed up on Sunday when, first of all, for a lot of us real business owners, guess what we're doing on Sunday? We're still working our business. We're not living the dream. We're working our business. And I'm not saying you can't watch football. I love football. I love all the sports. But like he said, you do that, you get drunk, and you can't even hit it hard on Monday, and you're trying to recover, and then you kind of back your day up, and then, nah, man. No. A little drink here and there, cool. But when you're in the game, you're in the game. And he's completely correct. When you isolate yourself, and by the way, you don't got to go to a wilderness to isolate yourself. You can isolate yourself in your own life. Remove people that distract you. Remove, habits. Remove different addictions. Maybe cut down on some food. Maybe punish yourself. Maybe add some good habits. And you put yourself in this wilderness, and then watch how your life changes. It gets pretty crazy when you do that because you are designed to create. And I completely agree with them. And 9 to 5 in our society, we need workers. I'm not against people being workers. Matter of fact, I love employees. We have them, so I love people who are employed. But you got to understand that everybody's not meant to be employed in the way that they're employed. And because society needs employees in abundance of society, and the rich want to stay rich and get richer, and the truth is the poor get poorer, which is why we got record high inflation and everything costs more. But at the same time, we got people richer than they've ever been in the history of the world, of all ethnic groups, by the way. Blacks, Hispanics, whites. The wealth gap is raising faster than ever. Those minority groups are becoming millionaires faster and more than ever before. But at the same time, you have people in the middle class getting poorer, especially in the United States, faster than ever before. And they're making less money. So the whole point of this is, you need workers, but you don't need everybody to be completely poor. But guess what? The society is going to have you do. Boom. Work a job, get distracted, put bad stuff in your life so you can just be slave to the work. Man, we're about to hit an hour. Definitely dropping some gems, dropping some fire. Man, I forgot. I'm like, man, why is it already late, man? We got started a little bit later than usual. But you know your boy still had to jump on. So hit the freaking like button and subscribe.
Advice to be able to build all this, man.
I sacrificed my health. I sacrificed my friend groups. I sacrificed my family. I sacrificed my sanity. I sacrificed every single part of my life. I sacrificed. But I look back now and I'm grateful that I did. And I wouldn't change anything about it.
You got amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh boy. I'm not gonna even touch that. But if you're watching this live or after the fact and you're an entrepreneur, you know you felt that. What he said just now, you felt that. What he said just now, you felt that. You know exactly what he said. Hey man, you sacrificed a lot to make it. A lot to make it. Just to get to the end of that tunnel and make it. So man, for a salute to you guys out there, still killing, still pushing. I get it. I'm right there with you. Stay encouraged. Let's keep making this money. Let's get to this cash flow.
Man, I appreciate you, sir. So we caught my guy in the Lamborghini at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and he went from being broke to generating tens of millions of dollars in the real estate business. But my favorite advice from that entire interview was when he said, you cannot save your way to wealth. Scared money don't make money, so we got to do everything we can to make our money work for ourselves. But with that being said, let's go get this next interview. Excuse me, ma'am. Quick question for you. Is this your G-Wagon?
It is.
And
Sheesh, the G-Wagon.
what do you do for a living out in Las Vegas to be able to afford a G-Wagon?
I have an Airbnb business.
You have an Airbnb business. And how long have you been a business owner for?
About 3 years.
3 years. And over these last
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a second. I think the other guy said, I don't remember how old he said he was. But young lady right here clearly looks young. So we're Airbnb. Real estate, essentially. Car, G-Wagon, which is a beautiful car. And she's only been in business for 3 years. Okay. Let's hear it out.
last 3 years, what's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
This last year for my businesses, we generated almost $7 million.
$7 million. Have you ever been broke before?
I have.
7 mil. I don't know if she said her age, but she looks pretty young. And she's been in business for 3 years in the Airbnb business, drives a G-Wagon. $7 million last year is some good numbers.
Yes, I definitely have. When I used to be a nanny, COVID hit, and so all my jobs were like, oh, we don't really need you anymore. But at the time, like, I had bills to pay, I had all of these expenses, and I was down like my last $20 bill. But you know, you just have to figure it out. You have to go from there. Yeah.
And what was that turning point like for you? Like, how did you know you wanted to get really serious about becoming financially free?
For me, I just didn't want to depend on other people, and I liked nannying, but it was still such a time for money exchange. So it was like, as much as I nanny, I can only work, this many hours in a day, and so at most, I'll only be able to make this amount of money. And for me, I just didn't like that. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to travel, and I didn't want other things to be able to dictate, like someone telling me, oh, sorry, we don't need you anymore. Like for me, that was, it hurt a little bit, but I just realized if I can work for myself and allow my money to make money for me, then I'll probably see more success.
I love it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. All right, let's get down to the business because that's what we want to know. Love the motivation, great advice. Let's get down to the business.
Now, for somebody who may be broke right now, for somebody at rock bottom, what is an actionable step that they can take to get really serious about becoming successful and financially free like yourself?
I think a lot of people also think that they need a ton of cash to start businesses. But like even for me, before I started Airbnb, I didn't know that business credit was a thing. And so I would say if someone is broke right now and they have no money, if they have a job, maybe use that source of income to find something that will make you money. Or even look into business credit and use business credit to start a business that will pay you. That way you can start having money come in without exchanging your time for it.
How old are you now?
21.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
20.
Whoa. I knew she was young. It's funny to me when young, people this young, they're like, man, have you ever been broke? Oh, yeah, man, I've been broke. Absolutely, I've been broke. Like, dude, you ain't even gotten that yet. But 21 years old, wait, she became a millionaire at 20. now 21, been in business 3 years. So you've been in business since you was 18 years old. I know you said you was a nanny, but you was more of a babysitter in high school. So big ups though. Sick. Yeah, hopefully she tells us more how she got to where she was going.
20 years old. You became a millionaire at 20.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Seriously, that's incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was actually unreal. Think still like today, I don't know if I fully processed it, but really quickly we saw success with the Airbnb business. Like I said, we went from making like $3,000 a month to $60,000 a month, hitting six figures, within the first few months. And then like our first calendar year, we almost made $400,000 that year. And so we found success with Airbnb very quickly. And when we saw that it was successful for us, it was just like, it's a numbers game. The more we scale, the more money we'll make. And then from there, when we started teaching others, just really quickly, I don't know, it just expanded and the business grew.
Okay, wait a minute. That's really where her money came in. Because I got a little bit of experience in real estate, and I was trying to put the math together. But now that makes sense. Where her money came in was real estate, but she said after that we started expanding and teaching others. So she threw out some numbers. She said, man, doing Airbnb, we got like 400K, which by the way, is a lot of money. At 18, 19, just starting out, that is crazy. But then she said, hey man, we did start teaching others. So I wouldn't be surprised if she made some success, like she said, and then she was like, yeah, you know what? Let me just sell people on how to do this, which there's no issue with that. I for one, have no issue with that. It's a great business, especially if you're legit and you can help other people. You might as well get rich doing it. Lovely, lovely. Mwah. But your money was made probably selling courses.
Why was Airbnb your vehicle?
Honestly, I tried pretty much everything, like everything you see on Facebook and TikTok. I tried it all, and Airbnb is what worked for me first, so I just went with it.
How can somebody start creating wealth through Airbnb?
I would say scale. So if you don't have the means to buy, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to purchase property. You can rent. So start off by renting.
We're by the way, we're gonna show something before we get off of the stream. We're at an hour. I want to show you something because remember, we're looking at getting rich. So I want to provide some value. I've looked into Airbnb myself, and there's a few issues right now with Airbnb. I got to say, there's a few issues with Airbnb. Wait a minute, let me put this up. The money for this woman was almost for sure mainly made. Yeah, exactly. The money for this woman was almost for sure mainly made from courses. Yeah, I mean, that's what because I'm putting the math together, bro. You know me and you. I'm like, yeah, that's not adding up exactly. And I have some data. About Airbnb, which it's not as lucrative as it used to be. The people making money in it right now are showing you and selling you on how you can do it. Even though that's when they did it in 2020. And then now it's completely and utterly like saturated. And there's a lot of states and cities, which I'll show you. I'll show you the data. There's a lot of states and cities, especially major cities, who are in favor of the hotels. And they're making the Airbnb hosts essentially pay the same taxes as the hotels would do, which is really coming into people's profits. So there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of places that's starting to kind of ban the Airbnb in their condos and in their cities and different things like that. So she made money on courses. I'm not hating. I'm all about it, but let's get to it.
Renting your first property, if you can purchase. For us, the house that we bought has been amazing. So if you can purchase, definitely go ahead and do that. But You can start off by renting, and then the more that you scale, the more money you'll make as long as you find winning properties. So really it's just, like I said, a numbers game. Just continue scaling, and as much money as you want to make, you truly can make it with Airbnb. You just have to keep getting more properties, and the numbers will just continue to increase.
Right. You have amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Las Vegas was insane, you guys. Some of my favorite content that I've ever shot. And we've got lots of amazing videos and content on the way very soon. So be sure to like and subscribe for this content because you do not want to miss out on it. And click the link in the description.
Okay, so definitely. By the way, I know he's about to drop to tell people to like and subscribe. So I'm going to do it for him. He has great content. School of Hard Knocks. Definitely like, subscribe to this guy's channel. I am subscribed on my other channel. I know you're like, man, what a hater. He's not even subscribed. No, on my other channel, I am subscribed to him. But with that being said, I want to get right back to the topic at hand because the last person that I talked about was Airbnb. And I want to actually show you some data on Airbnb. I'm going to quickly look it up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, because I'm in Texas and this is actually becoming an issue in major cities, and they're going to start picking this up. So I know we're talking about getting rich, and we're talking about making money, and I just want to give you guys some stuff. So after years of discussions on the issue, the county voted to ban short-term rentals like Airbnb and Vibro in single-family areas. So this is, and just to show you guys some data, this is because I want y'all to, of course, let me show you this here. I want you guys to have real data. You know, we're talking about real money, just Joe Cash Flow. We're talking about real money, real data. So Dallas approves new rules. This article, I'm telling you when it came out, yeah, it was last year, 2023. This is happening. Dallas is a major city. You know, they're thinking about bringing a stock exchange to Dallas. I was just watching a video on them thinking about bringing a stock exchange to Dallas. And if they do, that's, you know, going to really put it's going to be like the Texas Stock Exchange. It's going to put a hurting on the New York Stock Exchange. And so when they do that, Dallas is a major city to be doing that. Let me actually bring this up. Yep, I was just about, Rion said, yep, I was just about to say that Airbnb game has changed a lot. There's way more regulation for it now. So it's too late to be jumping into that wave now. Yeah, exactly. No, really, like this is not me being a hater. We're talking about getting rich and talking about money. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of people who's going to sell you on the course based on their past results, but it's not true what's going on right now. And just to go through this article, like this has happened last year in Dallas. They approved new rules Wednesday to restrict where short-term rentals can be operated and make it mandatory that properties be licensed to allow guests to stay. There's a lot of regulations that they're putting on it with Dallas. Look at this. The council voted 12-3. Not even, I mean, come on, man. That was like easy work. And oops. So they have amended some of the proposal to allow certain things, but there's just a lot of regulations that they're doing with it. And you can do more research. There's a lot of cities that's actually starting to get into this part of the regulations when it comes down to whether they should allow because they're competing with hotels and they don't like it. So Airbnb money, not exactly the same, but technically, let's just use real estate. So we had 4 people. Let's see, we had 1, 2, 3. We had 5 people that we watched today. We had 5 people that we got the chance to react to. Our first guy, let's count up what they did. Trading. We've already talked about trading. But that's what they did to afford a Lamborghini Urus. Young, by the way, 21 years old when he became a millionaire, 24 years old. Somebody did manufacturing. We don't know what car he had, but he did manufacturing. And manufacturing, most money he made in a year as a seller, $5.4 million in manufacturing. Then you had real estate. So real estate comes in hot, and that real estate Lambo Also Lamborghini. So 2 Lambos. We know right now, if you want to be rich, and when you get rich, you buy Lamborghinis. Based on this, quick reactions to these supercar owners in Las Vegas, you buy Lamborghinis when you become rich. And so you have the Lamborghinis here, and most money he didn't say how much he made, but he said he's been in real estate 20 plus years. He didn't say exactly, but he said he's done tens of millions of dollars in a year. And he's driving a Lamborghini Huracan drop top. And then the last person, I said 5, I'm sorry, we have 4 people that we got a chance to listen to about how they made their money. The last person was also real estate, in particular Airbnb. And we know really selling the courses, that's really how she made the most money. She stated that she made for at least $400,000 in the Airbnb game, and then she decided to start teaching others. So with that being said, but she did that at 20. Very respectable, crazy numbers, driving a G-Wagon. So we got Lamborghinis and we got a Mercedes that made its way. And a G-Wagon is a very, very sexy vehicle. By the way, 2 SUVs, a Lamborghini Urus SUV, Mercedes G-Wagon SUV. So for the rich people. And the most money that she said she's brought in, which was last year, was $7 million. So that being said, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was episode 8 of Joe Cash Flow, and we talked about getting rich. We talked about how they got rich and how these supercar owners got rich. And you know what, man, I think this was a very fun episode. I personally enjoyed listening to it. I want to do a lot more like this, and then we go take what they said and go see how realistic it is. Me personally, just based off what we watch, we didn't hear some of the other ones, like financial services, which was number 1, and many of the other articles. We didn't hear that, but we heard real estate, and we know real estate. Me personally, though, I'm telling you, the guy that was the most believable to me was the guy that said, man, I've been doing this thing for 20 plus years. 20 plus years in the real estate game. So I got to say, off the top, I love real estate myself. Real estate is definitely winning. Definitely a good way to make a lot of money when it comes down to being in the industry, and of course, even selling how you did it. So with that being said, this was a fun episode. I look forward to doing a lot more episodes like this where we do reaction and we hear supercar owners, and maybe one day we'll even be out there with our little microphone, telling people that, oh, yes, I'm a supercar owner. Yeah, and react to and give us some advice on what we do. But as I close out, man, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell on. Your boy is definitely going to be back next week. I am dedicated to be back next week. And I'm going to be adding another channel that I'm going to stream to. We will be starting to stream to Twitch, and we are going to start streaming to the freaking Gram, because we want to make sure that people are getting this knowledge and enjoying this type of content when it comes down to money. With that being said, man, keep on getting to that money. Keep on focusing on getting that cash flow. It's your boy, Joe Cash Flow, and I am Audi 5000, about to go get to this moolah, baby. I'm going to holla at y'all. Cheers.